Hi, welcome to this Excel tutorial video, and today we're going to look at how we can extract text from within another piece of text in a cell. This video was recorded in March 2021 using Excel 365. On screen I've got a list of films and it's been copied from a document and pasted into my Excel spreadsheet. It's got bullets, or rather numbering on the left hand side, and it's got the year of the film release in brackets on the right hand side. What I want to do is I just want to return the name of the film. I don't want to see the numbering and I don't want to see what's in the brackets. Let us start by, we'll look at a few different functions that we'll kind of put together to get the solution we need. There is immediately a function that we can use called mid, and what mid does, it does exactly what we want. It takes a piece of data from within another piece of data, a bit of text from within another piece of text, and the way it works is you say which text you're interested in taking apart. You say at the point of which you want your data, so I'm interested in the A of Avengers, which is the fourth character, and you say how many characters do you want to get. Well, I want the full name of it, and I know it's 17 characters long, so I can do that and it will return for me exactly what I want. However, that works for Avengers Endgame, but it doesn't work for many of the other ones. So what we need to somehow do, well, in fact, let's look at an example here. The first 9 films start at the beginning of the film, whereas from here, from Frozen 2, all of a sudden we've got a space because our fourth character is not the beginning of the film anymore, because there's 2 characters in the numbering. The beginning of the film is now the 5th character. So you can see it's not ideal. We need to somehow work out these values. We can't use 4 and 17 every time. So let us use a function called find. And what find does is it looks for a particular character, or the first instance of a particular character in a piece of string. So let us look for the full stop after the bullet. So we're going to try and look for a full stop within. So I'll put a comma. Our second parameter is which bit of text we're interested in. The third parameter is in square brackets, so it is optional, so I'm not bothered about that. I'll finish that off. Now it says, okay, your full stop is the second character. What we want actually is the position of the start of the film, which is after the full stop is a space and then it's the character. So we can simply say +2. And that will work. If I drag that down here, you'll see at this point, because there's now 2 numbers in the numbering, those change to 5. So that will work for the start here, for the starting position. Now let us slightly go off a little bit, off kind of our plan a little bit. Imagine if we want to return everything from the right hand side here. So we just want to get rid of the numbering. What we can do is we can use a function called right, and that will return everything from the right going kind of backwards. So it'll say I'm interested in that text, and then you need to calculate how many characters you want to return. So we can work that out. We can say, all right, so I'm interested in all of the characters, so we can say the length of A1, which is however big that string is, less the first few characters, because we don't want the bullets. So we can say minus find, and then A1. Oops, hold on. Now that will only, in this example, say it'll return 2 because our full stop's at 2. So maybe instead of using the full stop, we'll say we'll look for this space. And that should return us exactly what we want in this kind of, in this slightly changed requirement. So if I run this down here, we'll now get the right hand, we'll now get exactly the film and also the bit in brackets. But that isn't what we want. It's just an example of using the right function. Now I was actually playing with this before I started this video, and I did come across a bit of a problem. Let me just comment this. Sorry, let me just copy this and paste it in here. What I was trying to do is actually, instead of looking for the space, I was using the full stop. But after the full stop, because in this example the full stop's at 2 and we want to ignore the first 3 characters, I just said we'll add 1 to it. So we'll do +1. But that didn't work. And if you see, if I just bring this down here, you see now we've got the full stop and the space and then the beginning of the film. So that hasn't worked. And the reason it hasn't worked is, like in any mathematical formula, you need to put brackets around those bits that need to be calculated together. So if I put a bracket around that means the length of A1, which is however big that is, less the result of this find, which is 2, plus 1, which is 3. And that fixes that issue nicely. So when you're doing these things, you need to remember that these are mathematical formulas. The result of this len A1 is however long that is. The result of this find is 2 in this case. So you need to remember that when you're writing these things, you are just calculating using numbers. The results of these functions are numbers, and then you need to make sure that you're correctly applying the math formula to it. Okay, we could try another function here. We could say just get rid of the left hand. So imagine we just want to get rid of the we're happy with the numbering, we just don't want to see the brackets. So we can do the same thing. We can say left A1 up to the position of the starting bracket in A1. And as I'm doing this, you'll note that Excel is telling us exactly what we need to put. So if I end that bracket, we're still within the left hand portion, we're still looking at this number of characters. So I'll do a -1, and that should return for us the correct left portion. So now we're getting the number in here, but we're not getting the brackets. But still, that isn't what we want. So let us write the correct formula to get what we need, and this is it. So, like we said at the beginning of the video, we begin with mid, and the text we're interested in is A1. Our starting position is going to be what we did before. So we'll say we want to find the first full stop, but we know the first full stop in this case is going to be 2, position 2. So we don't want to start at position 2, we want to start at position 4. So we need to add 2 to it. So our starting position is wherever you see a full stop plus 2. So in this example, it's 2 plus 2. Then our amount of characters, this is where it gets ever so slightly tricky. So the amount of characters that we're interested in is, we now need to find the first bracket. And remember, like I was saying, you can see here that Excel is telling you exactly the position you're in. So we're currently in a find function. Press the comma within which bit of text, A1 still, and that. So we're back to the mid portion. So we're saying find the bracket which I know is at position 19 minus the position of the full stop in A1 plus 2. See if I've got that right. And remember then we need to do that to get that calculation right. Let's just see if that's right. Oh, that is true. Sorry, within this here, this find, I've put a bracket before I've actually said which bit of text I need to find the full stop in. All right, so that's worked. That's got us exactly what we wanted. Mid, go to A1, which is here. That's the bit we're interested in. That's the text we want to dissect. The starting position is the result of this find here. Find the decimal, the first full stop, plus 2, which will give a position of 4 here. And the length of, or the amount of characters we want to return is the position of this bracket, which is a position 19, less the position of that stop plus 2, which is 19 plus 4, which is, oh no, it must be position 21, plus the position that is at 21 minus 2 plus 2, which equals 17, which is the amount of characters in the film title. And we can see that, even though I've explained that terribly, we can see that it works for each of our film titles. The last thing we need to do, because these are still, because these right now are still formulas, if I just press Control Shift and down and copy those, and I'll just go back up here, I'll right click and I'll choose to paste values, and now here we have just the values. I hope I explained myself okay there. That's the end of this video. If you liked it, if you want to leave any comments or give us a thumbs up or subscribe, that would be appreciated. I hope you found this helpful.